This video quickly mentions 4 different approaches for building a visual graph, so that you can decide which basic approach you want to use. Other videos will demonstrate each approach. One approach is to build a graph incrementally as you browse through a store. This approach first uses one of the commands on the Add menu to display an initial node, followed by various commands on the Link menu to display additional nodes that are linked with nodes that are already displayed. This incremental approach is the one that's covered on the Quick Start dialog, which can be found on the Help menu. A second, quicker approach is to use a Sparkle query, which you do in the Query view. This view should be fairly self-explanatory, where you enter a query, press the Do Query button to generate a table of results, and then use these special buttons if you want to lay out a visual graph from the results. Another quick approach is the Display All Triples command on the Add menu. This command can be used to display all of the nodes and links that are in the currently open store, and is probably useful only for a very small store that you've created specifically for a visual graph. This command will actually display only a limited number of nodes as specified by the Max Triples for Display All Triples option on the Inclusion Options menu. The default maximum is a rather low value of 100, which is about the number of nodes that Gruff can lay out very quickly, though it can handle many more nodes if you let it run long enough. The last approach is to use the Programmatic Interface. This requires loading the file gruff.fazl into Allegro Common Lisp, rather than using the standalone Gruff application. The Programmatic Interface is covered in the last section of the Help file. This section tells you how to set up a display window, and then how to call functions such as display triples, which will create a visual graph from an arbitrary set of triples that you've collected programmatically. Gruff.fazl can also be built into a standalone application with your own user interface that you could build with the Gruff API and the Common Graphics Windowing Toolkit. So there you have the 4 different approaches for building a visual graph.